The thing under the tarpaulin had no face. That was the first thing Marcus understood when it pulled back the covering. He had been bracing himself for something with a face. Something with a face. Something with eyes. Something that would look back at him the way the captain looked back at him, with that deep water stillness and the weight of years behind it. But it had no face. It had no eyes. It had no eyes. It had no eyes. It had no shape that his mind could hold for more than a second before it shifted into something else. It was dark the way deep water is dark. Not the caps of light, but the presence of something that light could not enter. It was old the way stone is old. Not aged, but simply there. Simply existing the way things existing, the way things existing, the way things exist. That was simply existing the way. Things existing the way things exist. The way rest. And it was aware of him. He could feel that. Not through his eyes or his ears, but through something older than either of those. Some part of him that had been in every human being since the first human being stood at the edge of the ocean and looked out and felt the ocean look back. It was aware of him and it was waiting. Waiting for him to flinch. Waiting for him to look away. Waiting for the moment his mind decided it had seen enough and shut itself down, the way minds do when they encounter something they were not built to hold. Marcus did not look away. He thought about the red-haired boy. 20 years old. Someone's son. 37 years in this hold, because a harbor master in 1987 had not known what Marcus knew now, had not known there was a second option, had sent his crew down into the dark because he thought it was the only way. Marcus looked at the thing, and he thought about that boy, and he did not look away. The thing shifted, not physically. Nothing in the hold moved, but something changed in the quality of its attention, the way the attention of something very old and very certain can change when it encounters something it did not expect. A hesitation, small and brief but real. Marcus felt it. He leaned forward. He did not know why he did that. The same way he had not known why he did that. The same instinct, the same pull. Like something dying, him recognized what was needed and moved before his mind could argue. He put his hand on it. The cold was enormous. Not painful. Just total. The cold of the bottom of the sea, of places where light has never reached and pressure has long since crushed everything soft and left only the hard old things that refuse to yield. The thing went very still. Marcus held on. He thought about the harbor, the dock lights, and the morning boats, and the smell of salt, and diesel and coffee, going cold in a control tower at 4:47 in the morning. He thought about 11 years of watching the water and knowing every vessel and every frequency and every light on every street in Caldwell Bay. He thought about what it meant to be the harbor master, what it had always meant, going back further than records go. Someone has to hold the line. Someone has to stand at the edge and say, this far and no further. Someone has to be the harbor master. The cold began to recede, slowly at first, then faster, like something releasing a grip it had held for a very long time. Like something that had been pushing against a door for 37 years and had finally accepted that the door was not going to open. The fog moved. Marcus felt it before he saw it. A shift in the air above the hatch. A lightning. And then, from somewhere above him, from the town behind the harbor, the sound of a street lamp coming back on. Then another. Moving back through the streets of Caldwell Bay like something retreating. Like something that had come to the edge of the land and been turned back. The thing under the tarpaulin went dark. A different dark. A still dark. The dark of something that has gone very deep and is not coming back up. Marcus took his hand away. He sat back on his heels and breathed. Around him the circle of men stirred. Slowly, the way men stir who have been very still for a very long time and are not sure yet what movement feels like. The red-haired boy opened his eyes. Realized this time, present and blinking and confused and alive in a way they had not been before. He looked at Marcus. Is it over? He said. His voice was rough, with 37 years of silence. Yes, Marcus said, it is over. He helped the boy to his feet. Then the man beside him. Then the next. One by one, the crew of the Maren's Grace stood up in the hold of their ship for the first time since October of 1987, unsteady and blinking, holding on to each other the way men hold on to each other when they've come through something they cannot yet name. Marcus climbed the ladder last. He came up through the hatch into the fog, and the amber light. The fog was thinner now. He could see the dock lights through it. He could see the dock lights through it. He could see the town. The captain was still at the wheel. But something was different. The stillness that had been in him since Marcus first saw him, that deep water stillness of a man who has been carrying something enormous for a very long time, was gone. He looked lighter. He looked tired in the way that people look tired when they have finally been allowed to rest. He looked at Marcus for a long moment. "How?" he said. "You said it had never seen someone who did not break." Marcus said, "You were right. It did not know what to do with that. So I held on and I thought about the harbor and I did not let go." The captain nodded slowly. "The others," Marcus said. "Your crew. They are coming up. They are going to need help." "I know," the captain said. He looked at his mons on the wheel. Then he took them off. For the first time in 37 years, Aldrich Voss let go of the wheel of the Maren's Grace, not slowly. All at once, the way fog lifts when it has no reason left to stay. The harbor came back, the dock lights, and the shore lights, and the street lamps of Caldwell Bay, all of them burning, all of them steady. And the shore lights and the street lamps of Caldwell Bay, all of them burning, all of them steady. The town exactly as it had been before, except that it was now 5:13 in the morning, and the sky to the east was beginning to go gray with the first light of dawn. Marcus stood on the dock and watched the Maren's Grace. The crew came up through the hatch, one by one, and stood on the deck, 11 men blinking in the dawn light, breathing the year of Caldwell Bay for the first time in 37 years. The red-haired boy stood at the bow and put his face up toward the lightening sky, and closed his eyes. The captain stood at the stern. He looked at Marcus one last time. "Will you be all right?" Marcus said. The captain almost smiled. It was a small thing, tired and old and real. "I'll be at rest," he said. "That is enough. That is more than enough." The Maren's Grace drifted back from the dock slowly, without any hand on the wheel. The luring line slipped free and trailed in the water, and the old wooden vessel moved out into the harbor, into the dawn light, growing smaller and quieter and further away until it was just a shape on the water, and then just a suggestion of a shape, and then nothing at all. Marcus stood on the dock for a long time, after it was gone. Then he picked up his radio. He walked back up the dock stairs, past the lamp that was burning again above the harbor richmaster's office, and he went inside and sat down at his desk and picked up his cold cup of coffee. He thought about the logbook in his jacket pocket. The last entry. October 14th, 1987, we found it. God help us. He took out a pen. He opened to a new page. Then he wrote, "It is held. The harbor is safe. The crew of the Maren's Grace is at rest. For anyone who reads this after me, there is a second option. There has always been a second option. You do not have to send anyone down. You only have to look at it and not look away. Hold on to what you know. Hold on to the harbor. Do not let go." He closed the logbook. Outside the window, the sun came up over Caldwell Bay. The water was flat and calm and bright. The fishing boats were beginning to move out toward the open sea, their engines steady and low, their navigation lights still burning in the early morning gray. The harbor master watched them go. Everything exactly as it should be. The Ghost Harbor series ends here. Thank you for listening to The Drifting Dark. If this series pulled you in, subscribe and stay close. The next story is already out there on the water, drifting toward you in the dark.